GoLongTD.com, humanizing pro football journalism.
The man needs no introduction. Steve Calhoun, we've heard from you a few times these past few years. It's been just awesome to get to know you. Armed and Dangerous Football, obviously, is your company. You've been mentoring Jordan Love since 8th grade.
Yes.
But you've also worked with Russell Wilson, Cam Newton, Keenan Allen, a whole bunch of guys. But how in the hell you been, man? Good to see you.
I've been good. You know, when it's football season, you always see the smile on my face because hey, it's nothing. I mean, it's so depressing. You know, after the Super Bowl, it's just like, oh man, what am I going to watch on TV? But yeah, I mean, I'm excited, for that the season started and Jordan's playing well and all the guys I've had the opportunity to mentor, are doing well. So, but yeah, we're here to talk about Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. So, hey, let's get it rolling.
I mean, I think a lot of listeners, readers, I mean, they've heard from you, obviously, since we even launched Go Long. I think that's when we first connected. But could you just give a little background on how you and Jordan first connected, how you became a mentor, a coach? And it does go all the way back to 8th grade, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, when it all connected with Jordan's high school head coach, who was the head coach of Cody Kessler, who's also from the city of Bakersfield. So just working with Cody, I kind of worked with Cody from the 6th grade all the way up through, once he got drafted. But once he was in high school, I continued to work with Cody. Cody went to USC, and Coach Nixon, Brian Nixon, is the head coach of Jordan's high school head coach. He called me up and said, "Hey, I have another one that I want you to start working with. He's going to be special." So yeah, I'm going to connect you with his mom and let's get it rolling. And so that's how it all started, many, many moons ago.
And one thing we've talked about, I've written it a number of times, is I feel like Green Bay, when they drafted Jordan, a lot of it had to do with the intangible, the mental toughness. Mm-hmm. This is somebody that was going to face adversity, plow through it. Right. Had the kind of attributes that you can't coach, that you can't teach, and all the other stuff, accuracy, mechanics, you're going to work on him with. Matt LaFleur can work on him with. Like, that stuff is teachable, but he's got some tools and some characteristics that you just either have or you don't have as a human being. How early in his development did you kind of notice that he is a mentally tough kid? We hear him in press conferences, even the way he plays, it's so flatlined, right? Like, he is laser beam.
Yeah. I mean, it goes all the way back to, we had started working, and I mean, our workouts are pretty intense. I'm a real intense guy because I want it done, correctly, after the second or third time. Okay. The first time, that's fine. You messed up. Okay. Let me give you the information again. But I mean, I'm pretty intense, and I never rattled him. He never was like, "Oh my God, Coach Calhoun just keeps yelling at me," type deal. I don't never say I'm yelling. I'm always coaching in a loud voice, so I'm never yelling. But he just took in the information. It never felt like it was a personal attack on him. He just know that I'm very, very demanding. So along with that, and then seeing him, he was at a rivals camp, his sophomore year, and there was, a bunch of big time quarterbacks out there, and he just, he went about his business, and, all these other guys are getting all this media attention, and, he just went about his business and was, very accurate that day and put himself on the map. And it, just a situation where the stage was never too big, where he was just kind of wide eyed and looking around like, oh my gosh, so those are, definitely told me that, whatever he faces, whether it's, a high school, packed house at a high school stadium or a packed house at a college stadium, he would be able to handle it.
Right, because even in a rough game against Detroit, there were plays where Aiden Hutchinson is about to hit his jaw. He knows he's about to get creamed, and he still can deliver that, whatever it was, a 4th and 9 to Dobbs over the middle like that. And Justin Fields had a pretty good game last week, but I feel like a Justin Fields, there are some quarterbacks where they might not have that to him, and he has that to his makeup, where he is just not going to be flustered. And so you're down 17-0 against the Saints, the 4th quarter. There's even some boos at Lambeau Field, which is wild. And then you have a comeback win. I mean, maybe everybody will remember that like they do, Favre against the Bengals in 92. I guess, what do you see? 4 games in, What do you see in Jordan Love? You probably know his game better than Jordan does.
Yeah. Well, the first thing about being able to stand in the pocket, and you have an Aiden Hutchinson coming down to hit you right in the teeth, and you got to stand to deliver the ball. That cannot be taught. You either have it, from the mental makeup side of, okay, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to deliver the football, or I'm going to, we can say chuck and duck. Well, chuck it and try to get out of the way. But he, that's just part of his makeup. That's something that was ingrained, or, just part of his DNA. But, 4 games in, I'm excited, just to be able to see him play, every week and see how he's adjusting, from team to team, and just adjusting to the situation. Because every situation right now, not everyone, but I would say 90% of the situations that he's facing are new. But the fact that he gets a chance to analyze it, go to the sideline, look at the little iPad and kind of figure it out and come back and make those adjustments. It's awesome to see. I mean, I try to recreate those scenarios in our workouts out here in California as best I can. But, I can't create a situation with Aiden Hutchinson coming in the A gap, going to hit you in the mouth and you got to stand there and throw the ball. I can't recreate that. But so it's exciting.
That's a good way to put it. All right, last one here, and then we'll open it up. We got a lot of Packer fans in here. I'm sure they have some phenomenal questions for you. But like these last 3 years, so what's it really been like? The dynamic each off season. We've talked about it, but like Matt LaFleur would give you stuff to work on with Jordan Love. You're incorporating your own training, your own drills. You're simulate constantly, just trying to recreate what he's going to see on Sunday. So that, like, what are you doing together, like on a day-to-day basis in the off season? And then specifically, like after Aaron Rodgers signs that 3-year, $150 million contract, and 99.9% of people think, all right, they're just rolling with the 4-time MVP. You better pawn Jordan off for some draft capital, get what you can get. What was his reaction to that behind the scenes? How did he kind of take it to another level when it seemed he was kind of written off at that point?
Yeah, the one thing about Jordan is he really follows that things that I have no control over, why worry about it. I mean, he really follows that to the T. I preach it, but he really follows that to the T. Just, hey, what can I do? What, for me, it would be a little bit of a blow, kind of a punch in the gut type deal, where he's just like, oh, man, I thought I was going to be able to get my opportunity, but if I can't get my opportunity here, okay, maybe I can go. And this is just me talking. This is not Jordan. If I can't get my opportunity here, okay, well, let's look for a different situation. I feel that I'm ready to play after year 3. I've learned a ton from the staff and from, Aaron. But, once they were, able to make the trade, and, I think he was just really elated to, that the organization said, okay, hey, we've seen enough from practice and a few of the games that you played in that, hey, we're behind you. So coming into this off season, it was a little bit of, he's always had some pep in his step, but it was different. He had a little bit more bounce, in his drive, a little bit more velocity on the ball. But it was awesome. And the one thing that kind of tied it all together for me is when we had our West Coast Green Bay Packer mini camp here in California, where all the quarterbacks and receivers and running backs, they all came out. And the way they rallied around him for that week, it was unbelievable. I mean, you're talking about the chemistry and just, asking him, all right, hey Jordan, when I, for example, with Christian would say, hey, well, when I ran this dig route I ran it at 14, when I was when I was working with Aaron, what's the depth do you want me to run it at for you to feel comfortable? And Jordan said, hey, well, I want you to run it right at about 12 and a half, 13 yards. And Christian was like, okay, done. And Aaron would say, hey, well, when I'm checking here, and I'm running this Texas route or this angle route, I kind of kept it high away from this backer. How do you want me to run it? And everything was just like catered to, how do you want me to do it? How can we make your job easier? And that was just the whole rallying call the whole week. It was unbelievable to see how they were really behind him and really, and it was genuine to how we can make you better. What can we do? Forget our games. What can we do to make you better? Because they understood the type of pressure he was going to be faced with coming in, after Aaron, left to New York. And so they just wanted to alleviate some of that and just like, okay, instead of putting it all on your shoulders, let's put it on all our shoulders. So now it's not that much pressure. So it was really great to see, when that week came together.
What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for making your way to Go Long and checking out this happy hour with Steve Calhoun. To get the full episode, become a Go Long subscriber today. We'd love to have you join our community. No ads, no sponsors, no corporations. It's all about you and our community. So thank you so much for making this possible. We'd love to have you upgrade today. $8 a month, $50 a year gets you access to all happy hours where you can ask these people around the NFL anything you want. And let me know who you want to have on these happy hours. And we'll find them. We'll get them on. You'll get access to the Ty and Bob pod with Pro Football Hall of Fame writer Bob McGinn, Favre with Hall of Fame quarterback and 3-time MVP Brett Favre. And of course, every column, every feature, every profile. We'd love to have you today. And you're not going to want to miss what Steve Calhoun had to say about Jordan Love. We really get into the nitty gritty of his rise, everything he went through in the offseason, what's going through his head as he's wondering if he'll ever get his shot behind Aaron Rodgers, and what impresses Steve Calhoun most to this point. What does Jordan Love still need to work on? The trauma that he went through at a very young age and why that kind of built him for anything he'll see in the NFL. Steve really opened up on anything and everything that our subscribers had for him in this happy hour. So just click the subscribe button and join future happy hours and to get this full episode with Steve Calhoun. Thanks, everyone.